Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back. Welcome back. So, if you've noticed that things feel a little slower right now, maybe your job feels a little flat, someone you were connecting with quiet, or you're just not feeling that usual spark, this message is for you. Okay? You're not broken and you're not behind. The quiet you're feeling isn't punishment, it's preparation. Now, hear me out on this, on the preparation, okay? This time after the fall equinox always brings a pull inward, okay? Our energies change, our routines shift, and life invites us to listen differently. Today, we're going to talk about why life feels paused right now, and how this silence is actually a sign of spiritual reset or retake and not rejection. Okay, so let's start in the area of work, career, and purpose. All right, so starting here is where people feel it first, and that's at work. So whether you have a daily routine, far as a 9 to 5, you have your own business or a couple of businesses, regular job, motivation often dips around this time, okay? And we are in some seasonal changes here in the U.S. with government changes, government shutdowns that are affecting jobs and concerns overall as Americans. But research from the University of Toronto shows that productivity can drop by nearly 18% early autumn, okay, as daylight shortens and our cadence's rhythm adjusts. Now, that means if you felt unfocused, slower, or less inspired, it's not failure, it's biology. Your spirit and your body sequences. It does a nice sequence to a new pace. And instead of forcing the old rhythm, you honor this recalibration. And you ask yourself, what work truly feels aligned now? What projects bring peace instead of pressure? And this is how spiritual professional rhythm finds balance again. Now, with relationships and emotional disconnects, next let's talk about relationships, because that's where quiet energy can feel the loudest. Maybe a partner, a husband or a wife, or someone that you're in love with or have a relationship, and it could be your children. It kind of feels distant. A new connection suddenly went silent. That can be one. Or communication just isn't flowing. Sometimes that pause isn't rejection, it's reflection. So the universe will quiet outside voices so you can actually hear your own. The American Psychological Association notes that emotional connections deepen after periods of individual reflection and not constant contact. So that means that solitude can strengthen love instead of separating it. Now, lots of times people are trained to stay in constant connection, constant texting, constant this, constant that, constant. And lots of times those constant falls into the area of not trusting or too much dependency, because your nervous system is saying that it needs some kind of validation to feel like this person loves you or connected to you, which it doesn't show that a person is solid in who they are, whether if they're talking to them all day or they're not getting a text or not getting this. Because somewhere in your life, there has been some disconnections of inconsistencies in your relationships that show this prior to this. And that means that you haven't healed your nervous system and haven't worked into your spirituality to bring comfort and solitude, that you can rock hard with just yourself and understand that it's okay if a person isn't constantly reaching out or you're not constantly reaching out. And so that's an important aspect, and that shows more growth when people are intentionally are awake in that. So before assuming something is wrong, you want to ask, is this space helping me reconnect with myself? Because self-connections always repair external connections, okay? So spiritual wealth comes first, though. Now I'm moving to the root of all this is your spiritual wealth. And before the job, before relationships, your spiritual connections are way more important within yourself, okay? Your spiritual foundation is the mirror before the job and before the relationships. But 9 times out of 10, most people put the job and the relationship before their spiritual foundation. When your inner life is nourished, which is your spirituality, who you are within, everything else starts to respond calmly and with trust and patience. And that equilibrium balances out. That might look like journaling. Again, some of you need to apply that or haven't applied or need to. Intentionally going into meditation, praying, pulling your own cards, or simply sitting in a quiet gratitude. Right now, okay, many people are being asked to strengthen that first, their connection within themselves, their spirituality. All right. So if you're feeling called to explore your gifts, this is a perfect season to begin mentorship with me. In mentorship, we focus on helping you understand your intuitive language, who the angel of your home is, and how to use tools like your tarot to strengthen your intuition in a grounded, natural way. It's not about copying anybody else's style. It's about discovering your spiritual rhythm and confidence. And as always, let's pull a couple of cards to anchor today's message and see what Spirit wants us to remember. Now we're in fall season and it's in October, so we're pulling from the Halloween card, the Halloween deck. And one of the things to strengthen your spirituality, those that have welcome back here and coming, is that pulling affirmation cards, tarot can help, oracle deck, different things that will build your trust within yourself of seeing and it all line up. Okay, so here's the one of the cards I already had pre-shuffled. So one of the cards that I've got was the Hermit card. Okay, the Hermit. And the Hermit is perfect confirmation for this season. The Hermit card is teaching that inner wisdom comes through reflection, and that's what you're being asked. Whenever and everything around you goes quiet, it's not about abandonment, it's about proper alignment, sitting in a time of balance. And are you checking your balances? You're being guided to hear your own voice before everyone else's. Some of you do not need to add anything else on your plate for the remainder of the month of October. You need to allow yourself time just to breathe and hear from yourself. Okay? And then I pulled the High Priestess. Okay? The High Priestess. All right? Now, the High Priestess is all about, we've been talking about intuition before evidence. She reminds us that the unseen progress is still progress. Okay? This card says, trust what you feel, even when you can't prove it yet. Okay. And then we have the Page of Pumpkins, which is the Page of Cups. Okay. And the Page of Cups is intuitive language, childlike openness. This is beginning of learning to read your own signs and signals, the way Spirit speaks uniquely to you. Okay? Whichever card mostly resonates with you, or if all of them resonates with you, it's a message in its same. The quiet is where you learn to hear yourself again. All right? So if October has felt slower, if work, relationships, or even your energy have gone still, remember, it's not the end of progress, it's the start of awareness. Take this divine redirection. Let your spirit, your spiritual wealth, lead everything else. If this message resonated with you, drop a candle emoji in the comments and tell me which area of your life feels the quietest right now. And if you're ready to learn more about your gifts, connect with your intuition, or start mentorship with me, visit my website at www.eclipticspiritualist.com. You can book private sessions, mentorships, or readings directly there. Until next time, stay grounded, trust your rhythm, and remember, stillness doesn't mean stuck. I'll see you soon.